One builds power with exhaust gases, the other with raw mechanical force. One spools up, the other punches instantly. But which one reigns supreme, turbo or supercharger? We're gonna find out today. In this video, we'll break down exactly how each system works, the pros, the cons, real-world performance, and the cars that made them famous. What is boost? Your engine is basically an air pump. The more air you can pack in, the more fuel it can burn, and the more power it can make. Boost is just forcing extra air into the engine cylinders, which in turn makes more power. The difference between a turbo and a supercharger comes down to how that air is forced in. Think of your engine like a campfire. A turbo is blowing on the flames, controlled and efficient, but it takes a second before the fire catches. A supercharger is like a leaf blower with an on and off switch where you can increase or decrease the airflow instantly. A deep dive into turbos. Turbos gained their fame in aviation in the early 1900s. Planes used them to keep engine power at high altitudes where the air was super thin. In the 1970s, they hit cars. Think a Porsche 911 Turbo, a Saab 99 Turbo, which kicked off the boost revolution. Let's take a look at how they work. Exhaust gas is leaving your engine, spins a turbine. That turbine spins a compressor wheel on the side of the turbo. Compressor pulls in more fresh air, compresses it, and forces it inside your engine. More air equals more fuel equals more power. This design makes turbos incredibly efficient. They use otherwise wasted exhaust energy to improve fuel economy on long drives or cruises. Turbos can go on anything. Smaller engines can start making more power with low displacement. You can swap turbo sizes, adjust boost levels to get the perfect power delivery you're looking for. Turbos have incredible top-end power. At high RPMs, they can keep pulling and increasing the boost as to where superchargers would lag. But with all that good, of course, is going to come some bad. First and foremost, the most commonly known issue is as soon as you request that power, it takes a short delay before that turbo spools up and your boost starts increasing. Turbos get extremely hot, which can raise intake temps, require intercoolers, and heat shielding. Turbos are incredibly complex because it's not just one part, it's a whole turbo system that you need to manage, cool, and actually provide power delivery of your turbo. Even with modern technology, the throttle response will never match a supercharger's. And of course, we can't forget that iconic sound. That high-pitched whistle as a turbo spools is an iconic sound that everybody loves, regardless if you're Team Turbo or Team Supercharger. It's pure mechanical music. Superchargers are heavy hitters of boost, with roots from the 1920s. Instead of using exhaust gases, they're mechanically driven from a belt connected to the crankshaft. That means the power delivery is instant and no need to wait for boost to build. There are three main types of superchargers. First, you have the roots type, which is the oldest and most iconic version of the supercharger. It moves a lot of air, but nowhere as efficiently as turbos do. It creates a lot of torque at low RPMs, and it has an iconic deep whine. When I say roots type, think old muscle cars with blowers hanging off the roof, like Fast and Furious. Second, we have the twin screws, which is way more efficient than the roots type. It compresses air internally between two interlocking rotors. It delivers strong power across the whole rev range, and it has a more higher pitched sound. The twin screw can be found in cars like the Chevy GT500. Third, we have the centrifugal supercharger, which looks and acts more like a turbo, but is still belt driven. It builds power more like a turbo as well, having more power in the high end and a little less in the lower RPM range. A centrifugal supercharger usually fits in cramped bays or smaller areas, more compact. The pros of superchargers: instant power, no lag, and full delivery as soon as you hit the throttle. Superchargers are way more simple, not requiring the heat shielding or any more of those complex cooling parts as a turbo. Superchargers are way more practical for everyday driving as they don't require any big changes in the vehicles, are great for dailies that want to go fast. That supercharger whine is super intimidating. People hear you before they see you, and of course, they're going to turn their head. It's kind of like a parasitic relationship. It uses engine power to make more power, which overall makes more power, but still reduces the total amount of power they could make if they had let's say, a turbo. Superchargers have lower efficiency, again, because they take mechanical wear and drive from the engine, which costs more fuel to go the same distance. It's like a parasite. While not as bad as a turbo, the heat can still be an issue. The roots in twin screw superchargers can heat soak after a very hard use. Despite these drawbacks, drivers much prefer these in their daily drivers compared to a full turbo system when it comes to trying to stay powerful and fast and still be comfortable. So think more of a Hellcat. Now let's put them head to head. When it comes to daily driving, turbos actually do shine fuel economy, with most sedans and SUVs nowadays having turbos. Superchargers, they're way less efficient, but if you're just driving in the city, I personally don't think it's an issue, but it's definitely not as efficient. When it comes to drag racing, superchargers dominate off the line, again, because of that instant throttle response and that no lag. Depending if you're running a quarter mile to a half mile, turbos can definitely catch up when it comes to the high end. But for a quarter mile, you're looking towards superchargers. For track use, turbos can definitely be tuned for efficiency and heat management for longer races, but that can also cause more mechanical issues, again, because they're more complex. Superchargers are predictable every lap, but eventually that heat soak will eventually drag in. For maintenance, turbos require careful cooling and oiling. Superchargers need belt and bearing inspections, very eye level and much easier than turbos. When it comes to reliability, both can be maintained, but abuse any of them, and of course, they're gonna find their weak points. Real world icons. Turbo legends like the Nissan GT-R, the Toyota Supra, and the Mitsubishi Evo are all cars that love boost and tuning. You have supercharger legends like the Dodge Hellcat, the Camaro Z01, and the Mustang GT500. All muscle cars that are brutal and deliver instant acceleration. Both have fan bases that swear they picked the right weapon, but this isn't a battle over parts, it's a battle over personality. It's just true that turbos are built for tuners, sleepers, and the late night highway pool. They're stealthy, efficient, and deadly when it hits. Superchargers are for brawlers. The muscle car crowd wants all the power, all the time, and does not care who hears them coming. So which one wins? Of course, that's not my call to make, it's yours. Are you choosing a whistle or a whine? Are you a sniper or a brawler? Drop your answers in the comment below and let me know why. But until then, turbos will always have my heart.